change that attribute. Okay, so that's how the magic of that works. You have a question?
Yeah, I haven't tried it, but would that work if you put the visibility hidden in the CSS? Would it pick it up?
No, because the CSS is never actually rendered by ASP.NET. CSS, so when the request comes in, if it's an ASPX page, then ASP.NET handles it, and then ASP.NET serves it, which means you get to put server attributes in there, and they'll get rendered before they're delivered to the client. CSS, when the request comes in, IIS actually handles that as a static file, and so you never get access to ASP.NET. You never get access to any kind of rendering. There are exceptions to that. There are ways around it. So if you need to do that, you can set up CSS as a mapping that goes to ASP.NET. And there are some developer tricks that make it cool to do that. I think there's one thing that Will's a big fan of called Page Blaster. He's seen the yeah. So there's a DotNetNuke module called Page Blaster that allows you to there's a module called Page Blaster that allows you to compress your CSS and then deliver everything in one CSS file. And they do it by using that, by sending the CSS to the ASP.NET process. Any other questions right now? Okay, cool. All right, so continuing on the skin, you can see that I just have, each one of these is a different layout in the skin, right? So I've got my 2-column layout, my 2-column left-leaning layout, my 3-column layout, and my 1-column layout. And that makes it so I don't have to create a separate admin skin, and that makes it so that you don't have to monkey around with all that, and you got less code to maintain, less skins to maintain if you make a change. Okay? All right. So this is kind of my petri dish version of a CSS-based layout. It works well. I like it. I especially like these tricks, and it works well to take this and drop it into a design. So this is something I like to keep around just as part of my template library, right? The other thing that is available in DotNetNuke 5 is the Yahoo user interface, the YUI, they call it, grids. I'm a big fan of YUI grids. Basically, what you're able to do, so I went through all the work and all the trouble to create this and to document this and write the book, because the YUI stuff's not always going to work, and template libraries aren't always going to work. But when they do, and if you can get your designers on board so that they're designing for it, then you're able to make skins. So to show you real quick, to prove my point, right here is the skin that I built, okay? And then we look at home. This one right here looks about the same, right? Take a look at the HTML that it took to do this. This is how much that HTML took. F11 or F12 or oops. Let's use. So, if we take out the HTML that's required for the menu, we take out the HTML that's required for the user login stuff. This is my header. There's the HTML required to build the skin. Pretty cool, huh? So, and what we do in our organization, when we develop skins and we deliver them to clients, we actually, our designer has some layout templates in Photoshop, and when he's designing, he knows that the left column is going to be this way. Our designer has his core Photoshop template that when he's designing, he knows that if he's doing a left pane version, that it's going to be this width, that the left rail is going to be this width, and the main content area is going to be this width. And so he designs around that. And so by doing that, we're able to use this snippet of HTML that handles everything for you. All right. So all the layout's done, and by doing this, again, we get back to what we were talking about earlier. If this is all the HTML that you have in your skin that's not about your content, then when a search engine looks at your site and they index your content, they're not going to have all this other clutter around it. They're going to have just your content. They're going to be looking at just your text, and you're going to index a lot better. You're going to get a lot higher rank than your competitors. One thing I'll recommend for those of you that are interested in using YUI, there's a great tutorial, a great video tutorial up on their site. So if you go to developer.yahoo.com, just look for the YUI grids, and it talks about this. Okay. So how you implement this, I would say that they've got some. You just have to name your divs a certain thing. Okay. So basically up here, by naming it doc4, that means that I've got a 2-column layout. By doing the YUI T6, that means that my layout's going to be 974 pixels wide, and then my left rail is going to be 270 or something like that, and my right rail is going to take the remaining space. Okay, so you can see by wrapping this in YUI-main, that lets it know that this is my main one. Anyone not wrapped in YUI-main is going to be a side rail. So if I had another YUI-B in here, then it would make the 3-column layout, right? And the cool thing about this is that I can move these so that the YUI main area is above YUI-B. So if you think about, if you have a rail, you're probably putting advertisements and banners or other ancillary links that are not your most important content, and so you may not want that to go first, right? Because in search engine optimization, whatever gets read at the top of your page is most important. Further you get down, the top of your HTML is your most important. And as you get further down, the weight of importance goes down, right? Because they assume that if you have it at the top, you want people to know about it. If you have it at the bottom, that's not as important. So by using the YUI, whichever one you wrap in YUI main, that's going to be the one that's going to be your main content. So you can put that at the top, even if you have it on the right. So some kind of cool stuff that's going on there. Again, I really recommend you watch the video because I don't have enough time to cover YUI in this session. It's really useful, and we've changed our entire design process so that we're able to use this, and it's made it so that we're able to release so much faster. It made our skin process go from about 2 days to about 4 hours. So really, really adds a lot of value. Do you guys have any questions so far on this? 4 months. Okay, cool. Okay, so how do you use this? Built in .NetNuke, in the .NetNuke 5 and 491, this actually comes with .NetNuke. So it's actually going to have a version of the CSS that you use for YUI built into DNN. And so all you need to do, if you take a look, there's a resources folder now. And under resources, shared, and you have style sheets, and then YUI. Okay. So the YUI style sheets, you include that in your skin. So what I generally do is I'll actually import that. I use an import. So if I grab, you can see that I've got that at import URL right here. And so all that does is imports that style sheet into my style sheet. So it's kind of like saying, so if anybody's done development work, that's the same as basically saying that I'm implementing this or I'm importing this. But this will actually include it. It's moving, right?
You're just tired.
I'm tired.
What's moving?
Thanks, Will. I was like this, and I was like. So you got this style sheet here. By importing into there, then you get access to all the YUI functionality. All right. Same thing with. So you may have looked, when I did that, you probably saw that there were a couple other style sheets in there, and you may have thinking to yourself, well, Ryan,